Man, I'm dead.
Keys Gang, what's poppin'? It's your boy KezyInTheClutch. Welcome back to another video on the Kezy family. Yo, as you can tell by the title, I got something new, I got something flavorful, I got something different. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm different, I'm unique, I'm KezyInTheClutch. So when you come on this channel, you expect anything. You're my family, so I bring you anything that I feel would help you and would help me, because I'm the one learning it, you know what I'm saying? So why not pass the information on, you know what I'm saying? But before we get into the video, I want to say one thing. Rest in peace, my brother Malcolm, man. That's the first thing I want to say. Yo, this man right here had a big influence on how I think now. You know what I'm saying? Black power, you know what I'm saying? Because, hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. Yes, I'm half black and I'm half white. But yes, to the police, I'm a black kid. You know what I'm saying? They don't care. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, you know what I'm saying, we got to stick together. And all my minorities, not just my black people, because I love my black people, you know what I'm saying? I love my white people. But at the same time, my black people is where I'm from and I connect to the most, you know what I'm saying? Because we've been counted out our whole life, you know what I'm saying? And even the minorities like the Latinos, the Mexicans, the Puerto Ricans, stuff like that, y'all in the same equation, you know what I'm saying? We all fighting together against this one ruling power, you know what I'm saying? But as you can see by the title, I'm going to be talking about how economically we already, as minorities, are out of the equation, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to having those hierarchy positions in life, you know what I'm saying? And bringing that top-notch value to the community and to, you know what I'm saying, just the world in general. And starting that off way back then when they had slavery and all that, in 1865 when they finally written down that 13th Amendment that would abolish slavery. Yes, prior to that, the slaves that they brought from Africa, you know what I'm saying, they brought them to help build the economy, and they help, you know what I'm saying, like by doing the crops. And you know the basic things that slaves, us black people, our family had to go through, you know, in order the hard times and where they came from, you know what I'm saying? But speaking back on that 13th Amendment that we was talking about, when they finally put that 13th Amendment into play in 1865, you had to realize that the blacks or Africans, as you want to say, in America became liabilities from assets, you know what I'm saying? Assets and liabilities is what pretty much the economy runs off of. You build your economy off your assets. You gain money and capital off assets. Liability is the stuff that you pay for that comes out of pocket that hurts your income. The asset helps you. It builds you. It sustains you, and it brings you to another level that, you know what I'm saying, that pretty much no one in the world besides that white hierarchy power knows of. You know what I'm saying? This whole time we've been taught, go to school, right? You go to high school. Not even you go to high school. Let's start here. You go to elementary school. You go to middle school. You go to high school. And then out of high school, that's free, mind you. That's free education because it's required, right? In high school, tell me one thing besides you know, the people that you have to, forget that. Besides, we're going to talk about that when we go to college. Name one thing realistically outside of life, outside of high school, when you eventually get out of high school. Some people are in the transformation of getting out of high school, you know what I'm saying, going through high school or in middle school into high school. Name one thing that's really, really, like, important that you felt like they teach you that, well, when you're 30, when you're 35, when you're 40, you'll be learning, not even learning, you'll be using when you get out of school. Algebra, equations, geometry. Yes, all that stuff is an important factor in certain ways and topics. But why don't they never teach you stuff like taxes? Or when you go to college, you know what I'm saying, after the high school, the 90% of Americans, you know what I'm saying, or even the people, the population in general, they want you to go to school to get a higher education, right? But that higher education costs you to get loans, you know what I'm saying? You have to take out loans. That's another way for them to have that say-so over you, you know what I'm saying? Remember how the Europeans came to this country and they brought Africans from Africa here to help establish the new economy, you know what I'm saying? They didn't think of Africans as They didn't think of Africans as European. They didn't even think they could become them. You know what I'm saying? They demonized them. They didn't even want them to even think of a picture. They thought of them just as workers. Like, you work for me, I own you. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those relationships. But nowadays, it's not like that no more. We're in a free country. You know what I'm saying? It's been like this postmodern era for a long time now. But if you really think about it, right, the banks have been doing the same thing this whole entire time, and people haven't even been knowing because people don't express it or talk about it. I'm not the one to BS stuff, all right? And I want to put that out there. I don't know everything. You know what I'm saying? It's just something that I learned over time from me watching with my own eyes and me, you know what I'm saying, educating myself via YouTube, you know what I'm saying, podcasts, all that. You have to take the time to invest in yourself, because they're not going to teach you the stuff that you want to know to get to that high level, because they don't want you to get to that high level. You understand? But like I was saying, when you go to college, you have to write down them loans, right? You write down a loan for $10,000, $20,000, however much you have to pay for to go to school, right? On top of that, you have to go to a 10% school if you want to, nowadays in 2019, to be able to even get a job straight out of high school. I mean, to get a job straight out of college, you have to go to a top school. If you don't go to a top school, you pretty much don't have that power or leverage to even get into the high-end jobs, you know what I'm saying, that would seek max, you know, potential when it comes to creating, you know what I'm saying, helping somebody, and when it comes to, you know, building that money and providing for your family, you know. But before I even talk about that, I want to talk about how I was just saying the banks now are just like how the slave masters were back in the days. They want you to write down the loans and pretty much sign your life away, so you have to pay back people over and over and over, which means you have to work to sustain that loans that you owe them. So you never have time to think to yourself, or you ever have time to build something for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You always have to work for somebody else's dream just to pay them back. So on top of that, it's like, are we really doing something productive with our life, or are we working for other people, you know what I'm saying, to achieve their dreams and their goals? We're in America, you know what I'm saying? Like I was saying, we're in America. This is the land of the free, quote unquote, you know what I'm saying? But if it's the land of the free, why aren't people thinking psychologically to build their own empire? You know why? Because psychologically, people were already diminished since they were slaves. From generation, it had been passed on, generation to generation. Yo, get a job, go home, retire when you're 60 or 70 or 80, and you die. You know what I'm saying? Why do people have to wake up stressed in this matrix? That's why I be talking matrix and all this other stuff. But why do people have to wake up every day on a consistent basis, go into their cubicle 9 to 5, and they not even really provide no value to themselves or their family or anybody else? Don't get me wrong. You have to work for somebody else for some time to build yourself. You know what I'm saying? But in the meantime, you have to realize that the bigger picture is you can do the same thing as them. It's hard, but you can do the same thing as them. But just psychologically, people are already diminished as us minorities. That, yep, we just got to get a job, listen to the white man, and go on with our day until we 60, 70, and it's wraps from there. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I want to talk about in this video today. Economically, we already destroyed, because society's telling us, yes, go to school, go to school, go to school. So you're getting over 100K in debt. If not 80K, 50K, you're still in debt. You have to realize you're still in debt. I'm not going to sugarcoat with you. Regardless, you're in school, you're still in debt. And you're not even 100% guaranteed to even get a job that you want. So how are you going to go to school if you're not even going to guarantee to get the job you want? And at the same rate, you have to take out loan, which you have to pay back. You know what I'm saying? Loans are some student loans you have to pay back. So regardless in that, you have to pay it back. So there's nothing you can do about it. So you have to work to get off all them student loans that you thought was going to help you create a bigger future. You know what I'm saying? Well, don't get me wrong. Them lawyers and them doctors, we need you. And them scientists, all that, we need you to go to school. You know what I'm saying? We need that in the environment. But for my personal saying, I want to be a businessman. I want to be a creator. I want to, you know what I'm saying, evolve and build my own empire. So I'm speaking from that area, you know what I'm saying? Which people don't talk about. We need to figure this out. We got to wake up, you know what I'm saying? This is real life still out here to this day, 2019, post slavery, post modern school. All the school system is set for you to learn stuff, to be a worker, to work under somebody else. You have to realize that. Especially if you want to work for yourself. Ownership is one of the main things in America. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's called the land of the free. Ownership, you should be able to own. But why aren't minorities, us as minorities, taking advantage of this ownership thing? Because psychologically, like I was saying, we was already written out of the equation. People, we so used to getting told what to do that we don't even know how to think for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And we just okay with it. We just cool. All right, let me give you an example. If you think about it, right? If you think about it, how say a Puerto Rican family or a Muslim family or a Mexican family comes to America from their different country. You know how they be establishing themselves as already trying to start their business. Right when they get here, they already trying to start businesses. They already trying to start buy gas stations and take advantage of the opportunity, right? People that's already in America, us minority as black men, we don't even take advantage of what we have already, and we're in the midst of everything because we're psychologically thrown away and thrown under the bus. They don't want us to have ownership because they know what our power can give us and they know what we can do. You know what I'm saying? African kings, we're African kings. You know what I'm saying? We're kings. They're scared to lose that leverage. They don't want us to have no leverage. You know what I'm saying? They is that high supremacy power. You know what I'm saying? They don't want us to have that power. But when it comes to that, that's why I'm saying school. I'm not going to school this year. This is my first time not going to school. You know what I'm saying? My first semester or year not going to school, which I feel like is beneficial because I'm learning stuff that I was never taught in school. And on top of that, I'm not taking on no more loans and I'm not taking any more loans. You know what I'm saying? I keep it a buck. I keep it pure. You're my family. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you're going to take it how you want to. You know what I'm saying? But from the time slavery was over and even now, we're pretty much still under the chains of the high supremacists, you know what I'm saying? And without a doubt, I have 4 D's, you know what I'm saying? There's 4 D's that I was watching a podcast last night. The man Byron Allen. He was growing up in the 60s, you know what I'm saying, or the 70s. He was born, and his mom was a single mom. She had him when she was 16, right? My mom had me when she was 16, you know what I'm saying? She had me when she was 16. I love my mom to death. She works hard, you know what I'm saying? She makes sure her kids are straight, and she makes sure we got a smile on our face, and I love my mom, and I appreciate my mom. Byron Allen was pretty much saying on the Breakfast Club, you can watch it for yourself. He was on the Breakfast Club. He was talking about 4 D's that the high supremacists, you know what I'm saying, they use for us minorities when we try to get into that place of power. And the first one is they try to dismiss you. You know what I'm saying? They dismiss you from the fact of they don't even want you to be up there. They dismiss you from the get-go. You're dismissed. You shouldn't even be talking about the high-end positions and the high-end bucks and all that. They want you to stick to that salary all the way into your 70 and die. You know what I'm saying? So they dismiss you from the get-go. Let's not get that wrong. Number 2, they discredit you. So when you get up there and say you validate yourself over years, your hard work, and you build your own empire and all this stuff, eventually when you get to that power, somebody on top, they're still gonna be like, what is he doing? Like you can't do what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have the imagination, or you don't have this or that we have. You know what I'm saying? So they're discrediting us from the get-go because they're scared of our leverage. You know what I'm saying? They're discrediting us when they see us validate ourselves and show that we can do something about this and we can have that ownership. They don't want us to have that ownership. Keep that in mind. Number 3, they demonize you. So say your empire is built, right? And say your empire has a flow of people that really believe in you and really pushing your message and your thought and what you want to do, whatever you're doing in your lifetime, because everybody was set here for a reason. Whatever your call was in life, they try to demonize you. You know what I'm saying? What I mean by demonizing is they try to make it seem like it's wrong. You're wrong. This is wrong. What you're doing is wrong. You shouldn't be doing this. Why are you doing this? You know what I'm saying? So they try to, it's the same thing with discredit. They just try to make you feel bad, like you're the bad person. And number 4, they try to destroy you. 1 through 3, I already labeled the other 3 D's, and it's already pretty much the destroying. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to destroy your power. They're trying to destroy your integrity. They're trying to destroy your confidence. They're trying to destroy everything that you have built. You know what I'm saying? And it's just because they don't want you to have the ownership or the leverage. You know what I'm saying? We, as the minorities, or even the Africans in general, Black Power, rest in peace my brother Malcolm, they brought us here for assets. You know what I'm saying? We were their assets. Now that we're their liabilities, they're still thinking like this. Over generations and generations, you still have to think about this. It hasn't been that long ago since all this crazy, chaotic stuff is happening, all this civil rights and all that. It hasn't been that long. People are just caught up in this new internet wave and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn to build something meaningful, and you have to build something that really is powerful and it stands for something. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm trying to do with this YouTube. YouTube is the first step. It's the baby step into something, the unknown. This is my first baby step into the unknown. I want to be able to start merchandise. They don't want you to have ownership. So whatever you can own, you have to own. You know what I'm saying? And now this YouTube is the beginning, baby step into the life that I can never imagine. I can't imagine. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to bring that with y'all. So I want y'all to think about that, right? I want y'all to really, really think about that, because I care about y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all support me, so I support you. You have to think about why you're going to school and the reason behind your actions. You know what I'm saying? People are going to put pressure on you to go to school. Yes. They want you to get an education. Yes, an education is important. Yes, an education is something they can't take away from you. But no, you do not want to go into debt for education. No, you do not want to go into education if you're not even knowing what you want to do. You have to know what you want to do, because you want to put in that full force effort and end up doing something that's meaningful into the world. You know what I'm saying? So you have to realize what's really going on in this world. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy. But with that being said, you know what I'm saying, we have to start thinking outside of the box. As black men, as minorities, we have to start pointing the finger and talking crazy about each other, because they already got us backs against the wall. You know what I'm saying? So us fighting against each other, killing each other, doing all this stuff is just helping the top supremacy people live and keep that money flowing. That's why we're so poor, you know what I'm saying, as minorities, because we're not woken by the real facts and what's really going on in the world. You know what I'm saying? I want us all to elevate and to become something that is unimaginable. You know what I'm saying? We all have that in us. We're not born to come into this world to work a 9 to 5 and stay in a cubicle our whole life, and we ain't even, you know what I'm saying, that's not living. So you telling me 1 week out of the year I get a vacation? I've been going to school for 4 years, and I get 1 week out of the year for a vacation. I can't call in sick. I can't do this. I can't do that. Say something's wrong with me or I'm going through something mentally. I can't take time off just to heal myself and get myself together. That's something we have to think about, you know? And it's something that really, really, really needs to be known. Like, my brother Malcolm has been saying this forever, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, my brother Malcolm. You know what I'm saying? We got that. You know what I'm saying? We got the flag right there. Power to the people, you know what I'm saying? 4L. I love you, bro. Hey, I'm going to keep this going, bro. I promise you, Malcolm. I'm going to keep this going. I seen what you seen. You know what I'm saying? I had time to realize and time to reflect on what is really going on in this world. This world is chaotic. You know what I'm saying? This negative energy world is crazy. And all I want to do is bring positivity and bring that stuff that's in the dark to the light, and have people think about what's life and what we really want to do with this life thing. You know what I'm saying? Because life is imaginable. Like, you can create your own fantasies, like, literally. But people don't think that, because over generations, people think, shut up, go to school, shut up, go to work, shut up, work for the white man. No. ownership. Own your own business. Own your own house. Own your own land. Own your own car. Own everything. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what America is. That's why when you see the Muslim and you see all these other people from different countries come here, they start from level 1, base 1. They're building everything from the scratch. They have the humility. You know what I'm saying? Because they have nothing to lose. But us in America, we have too much humility and we have too much stubbornness, and we worry about other people's judgment that we can't even build nothing because people are too busy talking about us, so people get scared. But you know what? I'm not scared. I'm not scared. That's something that God has put into me. I'm not scared. I have the humility to go through these baby steps. I'm going to build to the top. You either going to ride with the wave or you're going to be going with the wave. You have to pick. You have to pick. I love you, Kezy Gang. Find out what you want to do with your life and get this shit popping. Stay woke. Stay on your educational facts. I love you, gang.